state law from doing that.
But doesn't federal law?
Well, we're not stopping, they're not stopping the feds from doing that. So the feds still can operate, but that's why I say, instead of being in the jails looking for the felons, they're gonna have to sweep neighborhoods to find the felons. And that's what the departure is. They're not saying that you can't do your job. They're saying, we're gonna do everything we can not to help you. Well, those grants are to offset helping them. So they no longer qualify for those grants. $135 million in public safety is a huge amount. There's a question over here.
I have
Yes,
a
ma'am.
question, and it's not necessarily related to what you were talking about, but Bradford, my senator, introduced a bill that would remove the requirements for residency from people running for state office.
Okay, so this gets back to Rob Wright, and I think that
Right,
most of the
exactly.
senators are gonna vote for it, and I'll tell you why. In the law, it has 3 or 4 different terms it uses instead of one consistent term. So there was confusion over what established it. Now, you know, I don't know if you know it, but I'm the senator that ran the resolution to expel Rod Wright. So.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you know the reason why in our Constitution you could only expel and not suspend people? Because it wasn't in our Constitution to suspend, and I kept trying to make a statement that we should have a vote to expel them. Because that Senate floor isn't about protecting the senators from the law. It's about ensuring the people they represent have a voice. So when they suspended those 3 senators that went to jail, that meant 3 million Californians went without a voice for almost a year. So I introduced a bill that was short-lived that said that if you lived like you could defer your taxes. You still had to pay your taxes, but you could defer them until you got representation. You see, we had a revolutionary war over this. No taxation without representation. So I ran that bill because I wanted, because the press didn't seem to understand that our jobs are about representing people. It wasn't like I have a regular job where I just go in and if I don't do my job right, I can continue to do it. No, we represent people. That's our job. So when we fail to be able to represent them, then we don't deserve to be in office. Now, I wrote the opposition to Prop 50, and I am so angry. I mean, sometimes the frustration is because people deserve exactly what they vote for. You know why Proposition was passed? You see, I'm suspended, and I'm a felon. I get to trade my office for a lesser sentence. You empowered, not you, but anybody who voted for Prop 50, you empowered the wrong thing. What you said is, our jobs are about us, not about you. And the second thing you said is that we may, unlike you, when we face felony charges, we'll be able to trade our office for a lesser sentence. You empowered us, you didn't harm us. But people are so angry, anything that sounds bad, they want to jump on to teach legislators a lesson. I get it. But you know, you're all here, so you're on the inside, you get it. But most people spend more time picking their next car than they do picking their next president. And that's wrong, that's on us, right? Because we get exactly what we vote for. And sadly, not enough of us vote for the right thing. Any other questions?
What's your deadline on that petition?
Sorry, I'm sorry?
What's your deadline on the petition?
Sooner rather than later. So if we don't hit the numbers, we're going to keep pressing it, and we're going to deliver it to the governor. Because I think ultimately the governor, I don't agree with Jerry Brown all the time, but surprisingly I agree with him a lot of the time. And I think that he will see that this is a horrible, horrible bill. He'll look at the $135 million that we're walking away from, and he understands. You know, almost every Democrat has said at some point, including Kevin DeLeon, the author of the bill, he said in January, we need to deport the most heinous criminals.
Hello.
But yet his bill shields them. Their mouths don't know what their hands are doing. But Governor Brown has said the most heinous criminals. Our AG, Becerra, he has said it. He said it in January. Veragarosa, he said it. So we're every time they say it, we're publishing it and tweeting it out. That's the other thing. If you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter and retweet the stuff, because we're giving good information. We got to get the message out, and we cannot count on the press to do their job, because we know, sadly, too often fake news is the rule of the day. Yes, sir, in the back.
Do you know of any cities who are leading the way to oppose SB 54?
West Covina.
West Covina?
West Covina's already passed a resolution. Bill Wells in El Cajon is mayor's against SB 54. He's rolling out a petition for mayors to sign up for, which is another thing. But this is going to be devastating to your community. Yes, sir.
Okay, you're talking about 135 million. That's for LA County alone, correct?
Million. 135 million statewide.
Okay.
50.6 million right now goes to our prison system. We have almost 12,000 in our prisons. And you know, here's the, it costs roughly just over 60,000 per prisoner
Yeah.
to house them. So this 50 million is important in offsetting that cost.
Yes.
And one of the things one of the insidious things that the bill does is it doesn't allow them, correction officers, to work with ICE. So I have almost 12,000 felons, right? Can we deport 12,000 felons in 1 year or within 24 hours? Of course not. So how do you prioritize? Well, when are they getting out? When are they up for parole? So if I know some guy's got 20 years still ahead of him, he's not high on the list. If I know one person's done 19 years and this is his last year and he's getting out, then he's the priority. They're no longer allowed to share that information with ICE. If SB 54 is passed, it's not. So then you're going to have these people returning to our community, reoffending, and for what purpose? For headlines so you can run for U.S. Senate? That's just not right. When do we start putting Californians first and really be serious about their safety? Well, listen, thank you so much. What a blessing it is to be here among